I say those posters tell the truth. We should demand a new governor. And this one should be sent to court. I knew this Constantine wasn't who he claimed to be.
Greetings, madam. Did you happen to see, by any chance, who stuck up these posters?
Oh, you are the famous legate these posters speak of. You would never tell me if it were all true. Anyway, if you want revenge against the woman who stuck them up, you're too late. The guards caught her in the act, and when they saw what was written on the posters, they took her to the barracks. She must be rotting away in jail now.
Thank you. And you shouldn't believe those lies.
As if you could say anything else.
Hello. I'm the bastard murderer from your posters.
Oh, Your Excellency. I'm not responsible for the content of those posters. I had no choice but to stick them up. In a sense, the guard's arrest protected me, but my partner is under lock and key and guarded by armed men who bear the Devesp livery. They are responsible. They forced me to stick these posters up all around town. They threatened to kill my partner. If you don't stop them, they will kill him. I beg you, free him.
I believe you, and I will free your friend if I can. Do you know where the other posters are? I must destroy this nonsense before it creates a riot.
No, they only gave me one stack of them. They certainly have more, but I don't know where they're hiding the rest. The men who are holding him must know.
Very well. I have no other choice but to free him. Where is he being held?
Behind the barracks, along the docks. Please, hurry!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Thank you for freeing me from those murderous clutches. Do you know where my friend is? She went to stick up those horrible posters.
She sent me to rescue you. She was imprisoned, but she'll probably get out soon. The presence of these men will prove that she had no intention of causing an insurrection.
Oh, you've taken a great weight off my shoulders. I was worried she'd been killed. They were such brutes.
I must destroy the rest of those posters. Do you have any idea where those men could have hidden them?
Well, they spoke of having a reserve just outside of town. In a small hut, if my memory serves me well. You should go and check.
Thank you. And try to avoid the Devesps in the future. They're dangerous.
May the enlightened come with me in this battle. May the honor engulf our enemies.
You... Bertirtum, do you want to... You will always be welcome.
Best fortunes here. Oh, it's a great... The best fortunes here for
My dearest cousin, I'm so glad to see you. You are right on time. We have visitors, and your advice would be most welcome. Let me introduce you to the emissaries of the Bridge Alliance and Teleme. Seeing them both in the same room is rather surprising, isn't it? But please, Your Excellencies, explain to us what brought you here.
Sire, I have come to humbly request your help. We have been sustaining terrible attacks.
Really? Are the natives behind this again? Unless it is those traitors of the Guard.
We aren't sure, but it is almost certain that the natives are involved. Governor Burren is hoping that you could send him your cousin, as well as some troops.
It would seem that we are in a similar situation, sire. Our city has been sustaining terribly violent assaults, and our losses are great. Our Mother Cardinal is begging you to send her some help as soon as possible.
Dear allies, knowing that you are in such a delicate situation fills me with sorrow. However, the size of our troops has greatly reduced after the horrific attempt at a coup. Regarding sending my cousin, he's already very busy undertaking a mission of the utmost importance, without even mentioning the fact that what you describe fills me with fear for his life, which is most precious to me. No, I really don't see how I could be of assistance to you.
Constantine, we cannot remain deaf to the call of our allies. I'm sure I can find time to go and evaluate the situation.
I would love to accompany you, but my people are being wrongfully accused. I am certain of it, and I want to prove it.
Very well, my dear. You know I cannot refuse you anything. But remember how urgent it is for this antidote to be found. We're so close to it now.
Don't worry about it. You know how important this mission is to me.
Well, this audience is coming to an end. Your Excellencies, inform your governors of my cousin's arrival. I hope that you realize how grateful you should be to him.
Absolutely, sire. And we thank you both for receiving us.
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
De Sade, you seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the de Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You've read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. I recovered some documents that Aurelia intended to use against us. I also brought you the wedding contract.
Let me see. Yes. A skillful blend of truths and untruths, as is to be expected. I'm afraid, however, this letter from Julia d'Orsay, Constantine's mother, is genuine. But your cousin is not to blame for his mother's folly. It caused him more harm than good, and he was but a child when his brother was killed. But the implication that he's not the prince's son is absurd. You know them both, and you know how much Constantine looks like his father. As for these documents about your mother, poor Livy would never have deceived your father. And furthermore...
It's all right. I know. I'm a native of Tir-Fredie. My real mother was a Deneg out of the seaside Nemeus clan. So in a way, all this is both true and completely false. I'm not General de Sade's son, and my mother never deceived him.
I wasn't aware you knew. It's true you were adopted, and though the adoption was somewhat irregular...
That's an understatement. The poor child was ripped from their real mother, who was left to die.
Petrus, my mother Livy was not responsible, and you know it. The prince alone is to blame.
In any case, I doubt that this information could truly be used against you. The revelations about Constantine are more cause for concern. But since you recovered the evidence, we needn't worry about it being used against us. Providing it's the only copy, of course.
I believe so. What do you make of the marriage contract? Is it genuine?
Well, the writing is that of a court clerk. But their handwriting all looks the same. It would be difficult to tell if it was truly written by your uncle. As for the seal, well, I'm almost certain that it is a forgery. But an excellent one at that. That being said, without the seal itself, you'd be hard-pressed to prove it. If we denounce this contract without evidence, everyone will say that it's just an excuse to get out of the wedding.
In that case, I need to find that seal. Let's hope Aurelia de Vespe has brought it with her.
I'd wager she did. She may want to use it again. If you want to find it, you'll have to get her away from her camp to have a good chance to search her belongings.
As I'm supposed to be organizing the princess's arrival, Lady Morange can surely help by sending for her. Thank you, sir.
Was there anything else you wish to ask?
I must be on my way. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye. And tread carefully.
By the look on your face, you've already experienced the de Vespe's deceit firsthand.
Indeed. Aurelia tried to blackmail us. I had to recover evidence she gathered against my cousin and myself, and stop a riot in town she caused by sticking up posters which mocked us, and which depicted you as the heroine.
And I can assure you I'm not responsible.
I don't doubt it, madam. However, Sir de Corsillon told me that the seal used on the wedding contract was fake, but that we needed the fake seal itself to prove it and put an end to this sham.
So you would like me to get Aurelia de Vespe away from her quarters so you can search them at your leisure?
That's the general idea. She did ask us to organize her arrival. Your message shouldn't surprise her.
Don't worry, I know exactly what I'm going to write. The young de Vespe may be talented, but I have years more experience. Oh, if I may offer some advice, you should question the Nauts who brought her here. They must have gleaned some information on our charming princess on such a long journey in close quarters. Admiral Cabral should know where they are. You should go and see her. Do you have any other questions?
Goodbye, Lady Morange.
Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful. Don't underestimate the trickery of the de Vespes.
Come closer, good people. The cure and you'll find all you need.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
Greetings, Admiral. I came to see you as I seek information about Aurelia de Vespe and her entourage. Since they landed on this island, they haven't ceased their efforts to undermine our city and our diplomatic position. And since they traveled on your ships for several months, I thought you and your men would surely have things to say about them.
We don't make a habit of revealing information about our passengers, but I'm willing to make an exception this time. Since we got here, part of our ship's crew, those who were in contact with the de Vespes, haven't been heard from. The rest of the crew, the ones who steered the ship, are here. They're worried and fear the worst for their comrades. I would be very grateful if you inquired of their whereabouts. If you find them alive, I will not object to them telling you everything they know. Quite the opposite. One thing is certain. The de Vespes will never set another foot on one of our ships.
Rest assured, I'll do my best to find them. Goodbye, Admiral.
Goodbye, Desarde. And be careful.
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral.
the enlightened protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Is someone here? We need help! Help! Thank you. Thank you immensely for having freed us. Had we stayed here, those lunatics would have killed us.
They already killed one of the men by giving him some kind of potion.
Yes, Aurelia de Vespe came, with a smile on her face, and poisoned one of our men. To test the effects of a plan. That's what she said.
We must go through Aurelia's things. We need to prove that the wedding contract was forged to stop her from causing harm. Did you see or hear anything which could help me while you traveled here with Aurelia de Vespe?
That woman is very secretive. She isn't the kind of person who speaks of her plans in front of those she treats as servants.
I served her in her cabin. Every time I came in, she slipped the documents she was reading or writing in special chests. However, one day I heard her talking to one of her followers. She told him that with all the information they had gathered, they would easily take over the island. She clearly spoke of bringing the other governors to their knees with the information she had against them. She wants to blackmail them.
She probably kept us locked up here because she knew that we had heard her plans.
That's undoubtedly true. Thank you for this information. Do you know how to get back to the Admiral, now that you're free?
Yes. Don't worry. We'll soon be back on our ship. Thanks to you. Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful.
These documents are both precious and terrifying, my child. Can you imagine the kind of harm the de Vespes could do with this information? It's not all true, of course, but it's quite enough to spread doubt and create tension, just as they did in New Serene. These people are worse than the Malachor. We must stop them at all costs.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
Let's see if you can fend off my blood! Let's see if you can fend off my blows!
This seal we found was very well made. I must say, the de Vesps excel in the art of deception.
In any case, thanks to this seal, we can prove that the contract was forged. And we can send Miss de Vesp back to the continent.
That may be so, but after seeing what was written in that journal, I'm worried about Lady Morange. We should try to find an antidote. The Donegada in this region should be able to help us. They must know about all the plans.
Oi, Onol Manawi.
Hello.
Bur Tirtumat. I'm Vad from the Beragnodas clan. I need to speak to you.
Burtir Tumad, Donegada.
Bur Tirtumat, Siora. I hope your friend will be able to help us. I've heard people talking about you in the village, and Dunkas respects you, so I'm sure you'll understand.
What is it?
This land has been sacred for generations, and only the Donegader of our clan can come to calm the anger of Enonmil Frichtimen.
This is where he spilled the burning blood of the land to destroy our enemies. The sun trembled and the sky was black for days.
It is madness to come back here. especially for Renaigse. You must leave and take all the other Renaigse with you.
Do not fret. I intend to ensure that they don't stay long. Neither here nor on this island, for that matter.
I hope so, Honor Manawi. Because we can already feel the anger rising up to Credennis. And many would die if it spread.
And these Renaigse don't understand anything. They're multiplying like flies. No sooner had the ones in black arrived from the sea than others came from the woods to surround them. And now here you are.
I promise that these lands will soon find their peace.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
Yes, I actually need your help. I'm sure you know all about the plants in this region. Do you know of any that are poisonous? The leader of those who came here plans to poison one of my friends.
It's true that the leader left the camp at one point. She stayed in the woods for a while.
If it was poisonous plants she was after, I'm sure she would have collected sedek leaves at this time of year. It's a slow but horrible poison, which causes a great deal of suffering. But the antidote can be found in some roots that we know well.
You're in luck. We have a small bottle. Anyone who drinks it quickly after being poisoned will survive.
Thank you. I'm infinitely grateful.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
You said that this region was sacred. Could you tell me more? What happened here?
Of course. It is good for the knowledge of ancient times to be available to all. Teka, tell the story.
A long time ago, as I'm sure you already know, the people of the sea emerged from the waves and began to destroy our island. They built houses here and began to hollow the cliffs. When our kings and queens went to pray in the heart of the island, on Milfrichtiman didn't just send the guardians. His anger was such that his heart caught fire, and a long trail of burning blood spread all the way to here, destroying everything in its path. The people of the sea were destroyed here in but a moment, and we learned to fear the volcano's anger.
Since that day, us Beregnodas have watched over this place to ensure that that amount of anger never returns to Enon Milfrichtiman's heart. Do you have anything else to ask us?
Thanks again for your help. Goodbye.
Kwa awalam seg, Honor Manawi. And don't forget, those Renaigse need to leave.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies! me in this battle.
The shadow engulf our enemies.
closer, good people. Ah, your boat! Welcome! It's such a... Have you seen any... Thank you for your visit. See you soon. The best forge in Tyr... Oh, it's a great... Want armor that fits you like a glove?
Oh, it's you on a... Bertir, do you want to... You will always be welcome here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saving me. I never imagined the Defesps would go so far. She tried to poison me.
Don't mention it. The Doneigada of the Dunkas clan should also be thanked, my lady. They gave us the antidote.
May they be blessed. I'll send them a present to thank them. But you should go straight to the palace. Aurelia de Vesp was headed there. I'm afraid she may try to take over by force.
I'll go there right away. Get well soon, my lady. Aurelia de Vesp, on behalf of Governor Constantin d'Orsay, you are under arrest.
Oh, really? Hardly surprising. Typical of the d'Orsay family's underhanded methods. On what grounds, might I ask?
Firstly, for fraud and forgery. The wedding contract you gave us is fake.
Your lies are as dismal as they are desperate. The contract bears the seals of both my father and your prince. Is he trying to back out? Or has his idiot son simply decided to disobey him?
Neither. The d'Orsay seal upon this contract is forged, and I can prove it. Here. This is what was used to seal the contract. A cleverly made counterfeit we found in your camp.
That seal proves nothing. You probably made it yourself to undermine me. That contract could not be more authentic. The same, however, cannot be said of your noble lineage.
The second charge made against you is the attempted murder of Lady Morange. Are you also going to deny that your men attacked her?
This is a very serious accusation. I assure you that I had no knowledge of any attack on the former governor. And if an attack did indeed take place, I am certainly not the one responsible.
Is that so? Then why does this journal, written in your handwriting, say that you wish to rid your city of all d'Orsay sympathizers? And that you'd found the perfect poison to do the deed in the forest surrounding your camp? Thankfully for Lady Morange, the Donegada living in the region gave us an antidote.
A journal only conveys thoughts, not facts. Don't tell me you've never wished for someone's death without actually acting on those thoughts. And more to the point, who's to say that journal's genuine in the first place? Your so-called evidence, Mr. de Sade, is but lie after lie.
Lastly, you are accused of having sequestered and murdered the Nauts who brought you to this island.
Another baseless accusation. I don't know how you could possibly prove my involvement.
As it happens, we freed the survivors, and they are very willing to testify against you. For all the charges set against you, you are under arrest.
The Malachor upon you, de Sade. I greatly underestimated you. How wrong I was. I should have courted you and made you my ally. Together, we would have been unstoppable. Very well. What are you going to do with me?
You'll be imprisoned here while we wait for the Congregation Council's ruling. Go on. Lock her up.
The de Vesps would have tried to impose themselves to the bitter end. It's fantastic that you gathered all this evidence. We won't have a ruling from the Council for months. Years, even. But I'm sure the de Vesps will pay a heavy price for Aurelia's folly, and the d'Orsay family will emerge greater than ever. Anyway, you should destroy the documents you found. Nobody else should ever get hold of them.
You're right. I'm going to burn them all right now, just to be on the safe side. Goodbye, sir. Thank you for your help.
I merely gave you guidance. That is my role. See you later.
All that's left is to destroy the evidence the de Vesps collected about us. And with it, the web of lies cast upon my friends.
Carantz, I'm glad we managed to save Lady Morange. Considering she's a Renaigse, she's rather wise, and at least she does not despise us. But I can't understand why you decided to simply lock this Aurelia up. She should have been sentenced to death for having betrayed her people. But your politics on the continent are very complicated. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. At last. I hope there aren't too many other families like that in your congregation. It would be painful to have to deal with such devious methods once again. Still, Aurelia de Vespe is under lock and key and everything is back in order. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Do you think that attending this ceremony has changed your world vision?
Yes, obviously. Before it, I was so focused on my own knowledge. This ritual made me understand the power of sharing, of emotions, and of the bonds between people. This new vision gives me new perspectives. A whole new life is ahead of me.
Knowledge comes in many forms, and sometimes it can't be found in books.
That is true. An experience can transform us and make us grow more than reading a book. I love exploring science and nature, but in the end, I only saw it as a way to find content for my books. And yet, the nature of the things you and I have shared seems impossible to describe. You'd have to have experienced it. And I'm glad I've experienced it with you. Anything else?
What do you think of the love that unites those young people? It really seems as if they share something special.
It's true. I don't think I've ever stumbled upon two people that were so close to one another. On the continent, where everything is political, it only happens in fairy tales. But here...
Do you ever think that you could become that close to someone?
To be honest, no. Not before I saw this young couple.
What about now?
I do not like to lose myself in vain reveries, but for some time now, I've begun to think that such sharing of ideas and feelings is in fact possible. Anything else?
Where do you come from, Afra?
From Alima near Al-Sad. It is but a small town, but there is a particularly renowned observatory there. My parents wanted me to become an astronomer, but I chose the Earth over the sky. I was always more intrigued by life rather than distant stars. Plants and animals fascinated me as a child. For this reason, I left Alima quite early to study in the capital, and I seldom returned.
When did you arrive on the island?
A little more than 2 years ago. My master, Dr. Vasili, suggested that I should follow him to Tirfredi. He needed help cataloguing all the unknown plants and animals. How could I decline such an offer? There's so much to discover here.
Do you miss the continent, your city, your family, perhaps?
No. When I arrived on this island, I immediately knew that it was where I was supposed to be.
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you wanted by observing Duncas's clan.
That's true. I hope to discover the physical or alchemical mechanism behind their metamorphoses. But instead, I don't know. I think I now understand the bond that unites their people to this land, the links that connects them, and the power of their culture. It's unexpected. I wonder if this couldn't become another subject for study. The study of people, their customs and beliefs. If I said that in Al-Sad, people would think I've gone mad, but here, everything is possible, right? Learning about the natives would allow us to stop being afraid of them, and to see them like fellow humans at last.
I must leave you.